Is too much free time bad for the brain? Never in human history have so many people had so much free time, and never in human history have we been so unhappy about it. We live in the era of leisure abundance, weekends, paid vacations, on-demand entertainment. We can do absolutely nothing for hours, days, even weeks. And yet, instead of celebrating it, we feel anxious, unproductive, even guilty. Wasn't the dream of humanity to work less and enjoy life more? So why, now that we've achieved it, does the brain collapse? Today we explore an uncomfortable truth. Free time doesn't make us happy. It slowly destroys us. Modern leisure is an unprecedented phenomenon. For 99% of human history, free time was a privilege reserved for gods and aristocrats. If you were a hunter-gatherer, your rest depended on whether you avoided starvation. In agricultural societies, weekends didn't exist. Only forced pauses due to droughts or religious festivals. And then came the Industrial Revolution. 14-hour factory shifts, 10-year-olds working in mines. The concept of rest, as we know it today, is a modern invention, shaped by labor unions, automation, and the realization that people needed time off to consume. In 1926, Henry Ford introduced the 40-hour workweek, not out of generosity, but because he realized workers performed better. And more importantly, with more free time, they had more opportunities to buy cars. Since then, humanity has been trapped in a paradox. The more free time we have, the less we know what to do with it. Free time doesn't relax us, it disorients us. The human brain evolved to solve problems. When it has none, it invents them. Existential anxiety. If there's nothing urgent to do, the brain starts wondering whether life has any meaning. Self-sabotage. Too much free time makes us unproductive because without structure, we fall into endless procrastination. Identity crisis. Many people define their worth by their work. When they retire or take long breaks, they feel useless. And here's the paradox of leisure. The more we have, the more miserable it makes us. A 2014 study from the University of Virginia found that most people would rather receive an electric shock than sit alone doing nothing for 15 minutes. Mental emptiness is unbearable for us. And if you think you're different, try this. Turn off your phone. Sit alone in a room without distractions for 10 minutes. Uncomfortable? Exactly. We've been sold the idea that free time should be used for transcendence. The Greeks believed leisure should be spent on philosophy, art, and deep thought. But when humanity finally achieved that time, we used it on TikTok, Netflix, and video games. Why? Because human intelligence doesn't seek transcendence, it seeks efficiency. AI doesn't try to philosophize, it just solves problems in the most practical way possible. We do the same. We use our free time to minimize effort, not to discover cosmic truths. Leisure isn't a gateway to enlightenment, it's a shortcut to comfort. Leisure doesn't bring us closer to greatness, it brings us closer to the couch. If intelligence were designed for transcendence, we'd all be writing poetry in our free time. But we don't want to transcend, we want to disconnect. Free time makes us happy, until it becomes too much. There's a thin line between rest and despair. And once we cross it, the emptiness becomes unbearable. So what do we do with this information? A, you can deny it, keep consuming passive entertainment until free time consumes you. B, you can resist it, fill every second with productivity until you burn out. C, or you can accept it. Free time isn't about enlightenment, it's about keeping your sanity. The solution isn't to overload leisure with obligations, nor is it to escape it through distractions. It's learning to be comfortable with the pause, the emptiness, the nothingness. Because if free time is a problem, then the problem was never free time. It was our inability to exist without noise. If this made you think, subscribe to 277 Broadcast. And if it didn't, well, at least it was more entertaining than sitting in a silent room for 15 minutes. See you in the next episode.